I wouldn't wanted to be an RJ, so I did audition. So today
Yeah.
I am not an RJ, but I can say that
Okay.
I did try. That was my dream career, and I
Hmm.
did audition in Radio Mirchi and all that. Though if I would have really pushed that side out, probably I was taking your interview today. But
Yeah, maybe yes.
I love photography. I do it as a passion. I have 700 photographs from my Bhutan trip. So creatively,
700 photographs on your Bhutan trip.
I mean,
My
it was a
God.
7 day trip, so 100 a day qualifies.
Baap
But
re.
yeah, yeah. But so you see, when you're clicking from a phone, that's the problem. I think I should go back to the camera days and that to the roll days, because when you're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
clicking from the photograph, you just clip, clip, clip in a burst shot. But when you are with the camera, you know what you're framing, and you just probably click one or two. So I
Correct.
think that's the let's blame the camera phone for that, not me. So that also happened, I think a few weeks or a month ago, right? Sometime back.
Hmm.
It's not that I'm in love with Himalayas per se. I mean, everybody loves Himalayas. Mountains is something which, especially if you're living in the north part of India, it keeps calling you.
Hmm.
But I think
Hmm.
more than the mountains, it's about the environment that I'm craving to be in, you know,
Hmm.
like living a life where we are too stressed and too, we are always in a run mode. We are always running for something or the other, so it becomes very difficult to settle down your mind, even internally in your house, right? Even if you build your own boundaries, you decide that this is what I want to do. You are accustomed to that, right? For example, before starting the call, we were just talking about spam calls, right? So you just can't
Hmm.
avoid them. But somehow when you go for a vacation, and especially if you go to mountains, where the pace of life is extremely slow, right?
Hmm.
They just adjust to that. And then high fortune, and that's how I, again, LinkedIn, quoting my LinkedIn, I posted that, and been a consumer of Hindustan Times from the childhood, and then being in their office, getting a chance to kind of have a conversation. So very interesting initiative that's been done by by HT, which is called Health
Hmm.
Shots. It's largely promoting a lot of, I would say, health related issues, and education around it in different areas, whether it's physical health, whether it's mental health, anything that is required. And the conversation was largely driven around, let's say, women leadership, right?
Hmm.
The role as a woman
Yeah,
leader,
women leadership.
what you play, yeah, women leadership, and some of the challenges that I would have faced, or
Hmm.
how I maneuvered through, or what have been my experience. So let's say whatever conversation we are having right now, just add a layer two of woman to it. Probably one of your questions would have been, then, is it more difficult to be a woman leader? So that's what, or a marketer. So I think that conversation was very much around similar topics, but yeah, it was strongly opinionated around women as a leadership, and maybe as it's very important at any leadership layer, not at the topmost as well, at any leadership
Hmm.
layer, to be very much synced up what what's happening underneath. You
Hmm.
need to understand that current which is running through. So,
Hmm.
and it only comes mostly in an informal setup. Formal setups are definitely required. You do need minutes of meetings. You do need to, run through those standard stuff. But I think
Hmm.
when you are in a very informal, open communication setups, people are more flexible and comfortable in really sharing the
Hmm.
business level problems or personal problems, or let's say creative problems, that they think
Hmm.
like digital marketer might be somebody who's like a carrying a magic wand or will do something magical. It doesn't happen that way unless marketing is aligned at a very business level, both externally and internally. You might be
Hmm.
doing 10 things, but the world is moving in another direction, right? So I think that's what I would really want to do as a marketer, and I would want every marketer to do. Many of our my good peers are doing that, and we have many brands to talk about like that. But I think
Hmm.
that's where I see a lot of gap. That still it's considered more of a very skill function. We are still
Hmm.
talking about post. We still talk about just campaign, but we don't
Hmm.
talk about the contribution to the business.